Okay. Live indeed. Happy Sunday. Ooh, yeah. Man, when I make coffee, I just drink like cup after cup until it's gone. I fucking love it. And then I just love getting all like, yeah! um, yeah, man, day 12. Welcome. This live thing is interesting. It's definitely a time commitment, but I have fun with it. I I like just talking through my shit. I started on my outside walks, not listening to anything. Shut up, Siri. Um, and just thinking about shit. Maybe I already talked about this. I think I did. But yeah, it's kind of a unique experience. Just talking into the ether and also building a good habit. I would like to, as I build this thing, just be able to come up with fun or funny or interesting takes on shit that I'm thinking about or that's happening. Eventually having more content to pull from. Yeah, at some point, I mean, the fucking goal is to have an assistant. So when I do the podcast, when I do this kind of shit, I can just roll it and have a producer that then like sorts through it, maybe cuts some clips, puts them out for me. Same with the podcast, edits that and stuff. Yeah, but that'll be like my first level, I think, of success where I'm able to afford somebody to do that for me. So it's just a work in progress, man. I knew this was a long game getting into it. Knowing that and feeling it though is way fucking different. There's this guy that I love, Alex Hormozi. I think I referenced him before. He talks about this idea of like everybody knows it's going to be hard when you start a business or start a venture, some sort of goal or mission. I mean, obviously they call it 75 hard. It's not 75 easy. So there, going into it, oh, this is going to be tough. But knowing it's going to be hard and feeling how hard it feels like are two different things. And he was saying about how when he was in college, I hope I don't butcher the story, but he ended up being like one of the leaders of the fraternity that he was in, or one of the guys who ran the new, what do they call it, the new recruits, or the pledge class, I guess. And so when people would sign up, he would just like let them know, I'm like, hey, just so you know, pledge, the pledge season, I think they do it like 2 months or a month or whatever. It's gonna be really hard. And they're like, yeah, no, we want to be part of you guys, because they see all the fun side of things. They see the camaraderie and they see the parties or whatever, like when they first check out the different fraternities. But so they're like, yeah, but it's not going to be like that. It's going to be really difficult. And so like, yeah, we're ready. But then when they actually get in, he's like, within the first week, he's like, you have so many guys just wanting to quit. They're like, I can't do this. It's too much, blah, blah. And he realized that there was a disconnect between knowing like it's going to be hard and then feeling it and understanding that it is hard, but it's temporary. So he would then have a sit down with the pledge class, and he's like, look, I get that you want to quit. I get that it's very difficult. He's like, but when you signed up, you said that you were ready for hard. But you didn't know what hard felt like. This is what hard feels like. And he said that alone helped them understand, like, oh yeah, I did sign up for this. This is how it feels, but I can get through this feeling and I can last for this temporary amount of time and to get the reward. And he said then he had a really good success rate with people not quitting. And I remember thinking, I mean, a few months into just doing the business thing on my own, or maybe 6 months or whatever, when I was really starting to get down in the dumps, the doldrums. I mean, by a year in, and a little after, I was just having a really rough time. And just frustrated that I couldn't figure things out, frustrated that I didn't have the motivation to do some of the things I needed to do, frustrated that I couldn't get the clients I want, or frustrated that I couldn't get the money for jobs I wanted. And then the same with the podcast, it's just like so hard to get it out. It was like takes so much time to edit. Frustrated when I would put all this time in and then just not really any results from it. And I constantly have to remind myself that, like, yeah, you knew it'd be hard, but this is what hard feels like. And I think 75 Hard is a good lesson for me, because I am actively participating in hard things each day, and no, like, real result is coming from them other than I feel accomplished. I haven't, I'm 12 days in. I haven't seen my body change. I'm having a hard time gaining weight. I'm still sitting at like 192, and I started the year at like 190, so it's like, but at the same time, I'm like 10 days in. I'm like, okay, so if I get 2 pounds every week and a half, I'm gonna be at 8 pounds hopefully by the end of the month. But it's like, it's very difficult. I'm like, eat, and then I weigh myself the next morning. I'm like, fuck, dude, I still didn't gain any weight. But so this is a good lesson in like just doing the hard things and not really experiencing a result like in the temporary, other than I'm very like satisfied that I did the work. And I'm satisfied, or I'm very, I feel accomplished, and I feel each day like, fuck yeah, like I got a little further. But I do know that results will come, and the longer you wait, the longer you keep working, the better your results will be. And even if they're not like tangible, even if my, at the end of 75 days when I do this live video, even if my channel isn't like bringing in money, that doesn't mean it hasn't gotten a little better, or I haven't gotten a little better at communicating, or just gotten better at building a habit of something I know I need to do long term. So yeah, I kind of really appreciate that about this journey. And kind of just learning little tips and tricks along the way, little things that I will change or tweak. I really want to start diving into some, I think I talked about this, with some programs that teach how to create better hooks for videos, or teach you how to do better cuts or video techniques, etc. This is all learning, and the better, or the more I do it, I imagine the better I'll get, as with anything. So yeah, that's pretty cool. It's kind of hard to drink coffee when you're just talking nonstop. So comedians, I guess, when comedians drink a drink of water or beer, it's like they wait for the laugh and then they take a sip. But I'm not very funny right now, so just pretend like you're laughing, and then yeah. What else is new? I worked a double yesterday. It was pretty busy. It was good. I really do get it's fucking crazy. I get a really good social fix from working, and then I also make some money, which is helpful. So by working, I only work 2 days a week at the bar on average, 3 shifts, 2 days. And by doing that, there's a few things that it's just given me such a relief. Like, I don't feel so stressed about money because I have a not guaranteed, bartending's not guaranteed, but a pretty consistent amount of money coming in that I know, worst case scenario, I can really scale back my expenditures and I can pay my bills and survive. As long as I don't fucking get in a wreck or cancer or have my house burned down. So I have that, so it provides me that. And then also just, I was going kind of nuts before I went back to the bar. I was stressed. I was just really frustrated. So I'm stressed about the money. And then I'm an extrovert, and so I need a lot of social interaction. and to recharge and to just feel like a human being, I guess. And I didn't get that, and so working at the bar, like I get just so much social energy and just talking to this person, and catching up here and making jokes here, and it is a game changer for me at this point, and maybe I won't need it down the road if I have other social interactions, but and it's a good way to have social interactions without spending any money, making money while I'm having these interactions. So that's really cool. And then, I still like hang out with friends outside of work here and there, but I don't do that as much as I probably need to. If I didn't have the bartending job, I would need more of that, more of like the friend interaction and going and doing things, and then I feel like I'm wasting time. So that like would compound on like every time I would go to a bar or to hang out with a friend, I felt like I wasn't doing the things that were moving me towards my goals, and so I would feel guilty about ignoring my work, etc. So it's really helped me get rid of that kind of guilt, enjoy my time with people, interact with a wide variety of different personality types, and I feel like it sharpens my wit. I feel like it teaches me communication and how to juggle multiple things. And then I get to get clued in on cool conspiracy theories. Yeah. Actually, the podcast I'm going to release tomorrow is my buddy Sam, and he's had some pretty good conspiracy theories, which I fucking love a good conspiracy theory. I love to hear them. Sometimes I'm like, oh, that kind of makes sense. Other times I'm like, that's fucking pretty far out there. However, I don't mind. Like, I thoroughly enjoy hearing it and just finding out about what people think is like going on. Or some people might not believe it themselves. They're just like, oh, I heard this one. This is crazy. What if it's this? But yesterday I heard one, and we were talking about the LA fires, and they were like, well, you know why, right? And I was like, I heard there was probably some arson and the fire got going, and then there's massive winds, and that just carried it across like huge areas, and it's really dry, and it's like a tinderbox that just got lit up and they couldn't control it. These are the things that I'm hearing. That's probably why the city's burning. And they're like, no, they needed to burn it to get rid of the evidence because Hollywood has a bunch of is full of pedophiles. So they wanted to burn all the evidence because with P. Diddy and all of that stuff coming to light, we're going to find out that everybody in Hollywood is a pedophile, and they have all of their proof in their basements and their tunnels, and they burnt the city down to get rid of the proof. And I was like, what? It's so funny. I'm like, I need to buy one of those conclusion mats so that way they can jump to the conclusion. I don't know if you ever heard of that, but I was just like, dude, that is such a jump. I assume that there are some pedophiles in LA, just like there's probably some pedophiles everywhere. I assume that I don't know that the ratio is any greater in Hollywood. Maybe it's a little. I am sure that there are plenty of fine people that are actors that are straight and narrow and don't like little kids. Like, I assume that is also true. Some of these people just believe, like, nope, they're all pedophiles. I'm like, that's crazy. But I also am like, even if you were, why are you keeping the evidence in your basement? First off, you should have destroyed that. I'm sure if you were that, you would have gotten rid of that evidence. My grandfather was a pedophile, and I don't think he kept any evidence of the shit that he was pulling in his basement. I guess if you had, like your pictures or whatever, but you can burn those in a little trash can. You don't need to light the city on fire to burn that. And then I was just like, well, if there's evidence out there, don't you think that, if it's on a computer, you can have it on other drives, and people probably have already, if there's a lot of evidence that they already know about, they probably already have access to these files, and they probably have copies of them elsewhere. Like, a fire isn't going to get rid of like these cloud hard drives and shit. I don't know. I just thought it was a wild conspiracy theory. I'm like, so it has nothing to do with the rising temperatures. It has nothing to do with the fact that everything's super dry and it's a tinderbox there. It has nothing to do. They also controlled the wind patterns and the guy who started the fire. Like, okay. I mean, I kind of see where you're coming from. I mean, it could be in a perfect world that scenario, but that is such a leap to me. But yeah, that was a good conspiracy theory that I heard that I was like, whoa, that's pretty out there, but all right. Yeah, so to wrap that up, I really do enjoy talking to you about a lot of random people and just the regulars of mine. They're a lot of fun, a lot of good people, and just good times. So it's interesting to hear all these kind of wild stories and thoughts and, people's perspective on how the world is and stuff. And, I have a lot of perspectives on how the world is, but I feel like in a lot of ways I'm like, yeah, I mean, this is what I think potentially is true, but fuck, I don't know. But there's so many people are like, nope, this is what is happening, and this is why this. And, I'm like, all right, okay. So, yeah, I guess to each their own. And, who knows if we'll ever find out. But it goes back to, it is sad either way. But, yeah, man, I'm going to get shit done today. I'm not at the bar, so got some stuff on the to-do list. I'm trying to organize and clean up stuff. And, I'm going to hopefully get a bunch of shit done this week. We'll see how it goes. Podcast comes out tomorrow. If you're listening to this, you can check it on this channel tomorrow. And drop me a comment if you have any questions or thoughts, and I'll shoot you a message back. But until tomorrow, peace out.